in the distance. Keep an eye out for the new player in the team, Beast Mode, or at least the new player at the top level of the scene. Beast Mode is a monster mechanically. I'm excited to see him play at this level again. You know, he's the one who's gaining the most from this new format. The amount of experience he's getting competitively is, you know, it's really quite something compared to everybody else in this lobby who didn't get anywhere near the amount of games played in their debut seasons.
No, absolutely not. This is very much a season where we have gone above and beyond what these teams and players were even close to in previous seasons. What was it? I think Dignitas played 18 in one of their seasons where they were undefeated up to the very end.
Yeah.
They are well above that already, and this is just these teams entering for regional number 2.
Nice mind game there by Arsenal. Oh, he's passed everybody as well. Beast Mode couldn't keep him under wraps on that one, but really the problem is that challenge from Rapid. You've got to make some kind of contact on the ball. You can't give Arsenal the space to pull out a dribbling play like that. 1-0 SSG.
Yeah, they are always a team that if the first touch is uncontested, which that one very much was, they will make you pay for it. Spacestation Gaming, as always, are going to be very clinical in terms of their offense, as Rettles takes a bit too much time that time. Arsenal down, has got the midfield option. Again, another huge mistake. Kansas City can't afford for these right now, not just to try and take a result against Space Station, but further on in the tournament as well. You've got to start looking clean quite early.
Yeah, they need to sharpen up. This is, you know, a great start for Space Station. They've clearly come in today with a plan to win as quickly as possible to get into the second stage of this regional event without any blips along the way. Kansas City Pioneers, definitely messy. You know, we've seen a couple of whiffs now, one from Rapid, one from Beast Mode, and the dribbling plays of Space Station continue to impress. This is typical now, looking threatening, but he's gone wide of target.
Kansas City will like to start being able to just launch somebody into the ball. So far, they've been forced to shadow it, play with their back turned to the dribble. That does offer a lot more space for Space Station to work with. Booming clear.
Wow.
It's not going to be on target. Rettles again takes a lot of time. That is the second time now that Space Station have watched Rettles be a little bit late on the draw.
Yeah, that's a really crazy challenge there by Rettles. He's, you know, hiding behind the ball, maybe expecting a fake challenge to be coming in from his opponent, but you've got to see the challenge coming there. There's never going to be a fake when you've got backup from both of your teammates. You're obviously going to charge in as a Kansas City Pioneers player. That's, again, Rettles off the goal line. He's looking dodgy, and Shogun, Kansas City Pioneers have equalized. That is some dodgy defending out of Rettles.
I don't know what is going on right now with Rettles. He is sloppy, slow, one of these lethargic maybe. He's got to sort this out now. It's gone from being a bit of a joke to something that has now cost them a goal. And given Kansas City Pioneers a way back into this, considering they weren't looking great at the start of this either, now they've started to clean it up significantly more. Here is Arsenal. So good at, you know, we talked earlier on about how maybe Kansas City were giving them a little bit too much space to have that first touch, but Arsenal can put that ball anywhere from the first touch and still recover it.
Yeah, he's done well. It's been solid from Arsenal and typical. Just Rettles looking questionable defense. At least he's able to put something together at the offensive end of the field, though. Beautiful positioning by Rettles on the far post side. Typical with the ceiling shot pass. And Space Station are back in front. They've looked threatening in offense. As long as they can avoid those defensive blunders, I think they're going to be okay.
2-1. Kansas City again have their back turned when the offense is coming towards them. Have not managed to figure that out yet. What a pass from Rettles. I think if they could have got the timing right between him and Arsenal, that would have been a fantastic way to try and put the third one in. Beast Mode for Rapid. Rapid. Oh, he's taking a little bit too much time. He did have memory dropping behind him as well, so potential there for a drop-down pass. They keep going for it, but every single time Space Station Gaming have got players around. Very difficult to find a way through once they've got everyone set up. But speaking about being set up, the whole team has got annihilated. Typical is denied a wonder goal by the woodwork.
Arsenal was doing work on the goal line, demoed one, bumped another, left it open. It was a tight angle open net, so even Typical couldn't put it on target. That would have been beautiful to see again on a replay. Love to see that from Arsenal when he's confident enough to start dominating off the ball. Now that might be on target. It's saved by Rapid, so KCP will keep this within 1 for now. Rapid actually counter-attacking now. Double touch on the center ball. Wow, he almost scored that. Spacestation did not give him enough respect from that angle.
This is good to see from Pioneers. So far, they have not been hesitant to try and pull the trigger on offense. Instead, they have now sent everybody. It was Arsenal by himself. He had 3 sharks around him. But he did manage to get away with it. And Typical takes his time. There's a little bit more time off that clock. Arsenal also delays the challenge. Beast Mode has got a passing option in front of him. It was covered quite well. Beast Mode's going to continue it. Off the backboard, the ball does go. They're looking for the double tap. Here comes Rapid.
Whoa.
Both players missed. Beast Mode now in. Off the backboard, nobody for Space Station around. Memory had to half rotate. And he just didn't have the angle to follow up with a shot. Might have been the best opportunity gone. It is. Space Station Gaming, 2 goals to the better.
Okay, eventually Space Station get that 2-goal lead that we've been kind of expecting for a while now, especially after their hot start in this game. Not gonna lie to you though, their defense looks pretty weak at the moment. We're under pressure for a long period of time there before getting the counter-attack started, and it wasn't because KCP were firing in fast shots and threading passes together. It was simply because Space Station were positioned quite awkwardly, a bit flat-footed or flat-tired, I should say, around the goal area. So I don't know if KCP are the team who are going to be able to punish that. But you will need to do better than that, Space Station, if you're going to keep clean sheets, if you're going to keep low scores against the best teams in North America.
Yeah, I think for Pioneers, despite the fact that they did lose that, there's quite a bit in terms of enthusiasm to be gained from the way that you did see Space Station Gaming play. And we actually saw that towards the latter half. Yes, Pioneers had to move forward. They had to try and get that goal back. But they were attacking in a way that we don't typically see teams attack against Space Station. They were happy to send all 3 forward, even sometimes with all 3 being there without really anything to do. But if Space Station Gaming do not defend solidly, they will lose the respect from the other teams. And you'll be always surprised just how much the amount of respect teams give to you on defense lets you away with certain situations.
Yeah, this is going to be the key game, really, if KCP are going to make this a close series. I think they're going to need a game 2 win. They can't allow Space Station to go 2-0 in front. Beating them is one thing. Reverse sweeping them is a whole other ball game. I don't think they're ready to play that one.
A reminder, as always, these teams do need to either win 3 to move on, or they will lose 3 to go out. This isn't the worst result ever for Pioneers if they do end up losing this. As a matter of fact, last time this happened, they ended up losing the one immediately afterwards before finding their way back to win the next 2 and qualify for the top 16. Oh my goodness, Arsenal clatters into the defender. Not a chance to keep it out.
What a predator Arsenal is. Spies Beast Mode about to take off and he just snipes them, leaves the net wide open for Typical. Beautiful. Again, that's the same player off the ball making plays for Space Station. Historically, he has been the most physical member on the team. With the addition of Rettles, it was a bit more of a 1-2 punching combination between them. But yeah, Arsenal still, I think, the one to watch with his off-the-ball moves, making huge plays.
Rettles was trying to figure out how to get the wheels back under him there. As Rettles pre-jumps and Rettles goes sailing past the ball. Typical's double tap buys the team a little bit of time. Almost not enough. Beast Mode finds his shot blocked. Rapid wants to find the tight angle shot. Space Station now have got everybody back. They've got every option covered. Backboard, far corner. Whatever Pioneers want to go for, they're going to have to do it contested. So Rapid would like to just try and find something. He dances past one. Memory's going to be moved in now. Might get the drop down pass instead. Calls in another teammate. There's a lot of ball touching happening here, but very little of it is actually getting the Pioneers any closer to their target of a goal, and now it is finally cleared.
Yeah, they weren't really getting anywhere in that corner, and we're right back to that same corner again. Space Station are quite happy to sit in this position all day when they've got a goal advantage. Some teams panic and they, rush out into the corner, get out of position. Not Space Station. They will always leave one player back to defend the goal. That's actually a free rebound. Typical off the bar. The Kansas City Pioneers also leaving some gaps in defense for Space Station to exploit. It's been a bit awkward at both sides of the field, but credit to both teams for making it. Oh my goodness, that's an insane mid-air passing play. Arsenal just off target with the rebound. Maybe goal of the tournament already if that had gone in.
That would be a goal of the season contender very early in the season.
Definitely.
We have indeed been robbed of it. Definitely like to see them, and you do know for a fact that they will go for it yet again, as there is a demo on the goal line. Reynolds moves in to try and buy his team a little bit more time and to give a receipt as he goes chasing down for beast mode. A lot of territory now gained for Space Station. Flick over the top. And it's in for Sipical.
The precision of Sipical in this play. Absolutely perfect first touch. To keep the ball nice and close to himself, but also to hit it past the first challenging player, beast mode. And the flick as well. Just grazing the crossbar on the way in. That is placement.
2 to the better now, and it might be 3 very quickly if this man has anything to say about it. And unfortunately for the Pioneers, he does.
Yeah, it's a full team of Space Station really combining well in offense now. That's the easiest goal of the day that Rettles is going to score. Maybe the easiest goal of the day for anybody. Even with about half the game to go, you just don't see any way back in for the Pioneers. They're getting completely outclassed here. The defensive weaknesses that were quite apparent in the last game for SSG, they are now a distant memory. They are starting to solidify and improve, and I'm sure they're going to try and continue to do that. These guys are perfectionists. They're not happy with 3-0. They're going to want 4. They're going to want 5. They're going to want 6 if possible.
Speaking of which, and speaking of perfection, it is the one thing Space Station has been unable to do in their 2 matches against Kansas City Pioneers this season. One match went 2-3 in the first regional, and in week 5 of the grid, it was a 4-1 victory for Space Station Gaming, but not to this point have they managed to sweep KCP. You know they want to try and do it this time around, and given how this match has gone so far, you'd bet on it actually happening.
Oh yeah, it's an expectation at this point. Space Station have played well enough. And Kansas City Pioneers, unfortunately, have been relatively uninspiring. This is not anywhere near the best I've seen from this team this season. They have shown a lot of promise, like I mentioned earlier, in several grid tournaments and in several other matchups, even against SSG, taking them to Game 5. But this isn't the kind of Kansas City Pioneers that are going to take Space Station to Game 5. They need to be popping off a lot more. They need to play with more confidence. They need to play with a lot more speed. And then maybe, just maybe, they'll get a chance at beating them.
Typical will continue the ball onwards. It's another great challenge. They set the rules for you as they come in for them and win almost every single time. But Rapid's had a few occasions in the midfield where he's come out on top. Like for the same result from some of his teammates. There's a 0 boost for beast mode. Can't keep that one going. You just look at it. Space Station Gaming, realize they got the time.
Oh.
Wait for the perfect bounce shot, and then just power the ball to the other side of the field.
Yeah, they've just done everything that they've had to do in this game. A very clean performance from all their players. Very creative performance as well from Space Station. And much improved defense compared to the last game. I, said after Game 1 that if that Space Station defense that we saw in Game 1 appears again and again, they might actually struggle to go 3-0 in series on today, on the day. But if they can produce what we saw from this second game, I wouldn't be surprised to see them sweep this bracket once again.
No, it certainly isn't. And you made a mention of that because last regional, it was Space Station Gaming that weren't beat a single time on their way to that win. And we have made a lot of comparisons between what BDS did during the previous few weeks compared to what Space Station Gaming are going to try to do over these next few weeks. And we said, all right, well, Space Station Gaming, the gauntlet's been thrown down to you. All you can really do is match them. But that's not necessarily true, because if Space Station Gaming can do what they did last time and not drop a single matchup, they would have somehow, some way, managed to outdo even Team BDS.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. They want that perfect record. This is a bit of a change as well for Space Station. They're coming off a grid loss this last week to G2, and that wasn't a series where Space Station just threw away a series that they should be winning. G2 just completely outplayed them. So, well, there was obviously the weird start to that series where all of Spacestation were playing in the Dominus, and they won the first game, lost the second game, all switched back to the regular cars and started losing. But yeah, apart from that little strange beginning, it was just G2 being brilliant. And I think G2 have stepped up a lot, but maybe Spacestation have hit a mini plateau. I don't think they've plateaued for good. I don't think they've plateaued for an extended period of time. But maybe a mini one, and there we go. KCP will get a goal after just 4 seconds. Rettles and Arsenal both leaving the ball there. Definitely somebody's job to challenge that, somebody else's job to cover the goal, I would say.
Certainly is. Arsenal, he did have a look at it and suddenly decided that he didn't really want to go for it, which Memory is more than happy to take advantage of, and they might get another one here. Memory on 0 boost. Couldn't go through with it with the bumper, which he'd much prefer do. KCP now, this is all about just not letting it get all the way with a 3-0. And then from there, you can try and work your way out, but this would be quite the reversal in fortune, and this is where they've been at their worst. KCP, when they've had offensive pressure, the powerful hits that they have been seeing from Spacestation Gaming keeps catching them out, and the ball keeps floating over the top of their heads.
Yeah, we'll have to look out for those hard clears from Spacestation Gaming. Are they going to try to exploit the backboard again? We have seen a couple of whiffs out of KCP earlier this series. For now, that's not really an option. Rapid's shot is too slow to test typical as well. But no panic yet for Spacestation. They play the clock very well. They aren't going to push too aggressively now with so much time left in the game. They're going to probably just wait for some opportunities to arise naturally from the regular playstyle. I think that if we get to 1 minute 30 left, 1 minute left, then we'll see Spacestation really start to up the ante, up the aggression.
Typical does see one of those whiffs. He had a second one out from Rapid. He would have got it, but instead it's 2-0. Rapid ends up just being the assist king here. Blasts it over to beast mode.
Well, once again, it's a weird play from Rettles and Arsenal. Nobody covered in the goal for the second time this game. Nobody able to challenge beast mode in the middle. That's disconnection from those two players. We usually don't see. We'd expect them to take turns going for boost, not go and grab boost at 2 different corners at the same time, leave the ball uncontested. But as is, KCP are picking up their by far the best start to a game that we've seen so far in this series. And, there's been elements of Spacestation mispositioning in defense, but still good shooting by, oh my goodness, beast mode again. This is outrageous. They're just banging in goal after goal.
And it's such a good read to get the ball over to beast mode. Typical wanted to be tricky. And instead, it was the hard read that got the pass over. 3 to the better. And now we've hit a scoreline where you would actually be expecting KCP to go on and get the win in this and maintain that, unswept record against the strongest team in North America.
It's definitely a very winnable game now, of course. It's a strange one. Spacestation giving away possession, not pressuring the ball as often as they usually do. That's a complete whiff. Typical's got an open net. He puts it in off the top corner post just to add some flair to the open net. Oh dear, Memory. Bit too much respect for Arsenal's aerial play and not enough contact on the ball.
This feels like the sort of inconsistency that you get across an entire series that I would have expected out of round 1, maybe. This does not feel like we are watching players that have already been in the servers for a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours if we include warm-up time. I think both teams will want to see a little bit better from themselves across the minute-to-minute ratio of mistakes. So there's been quite a few of them so far. Big Demo on the goal line does bring Typical in. He's asking a lot of himself here, and even Typical can't do much of that one.
Yeah, his takeoff was a bit too aggressive. He flew under the ball initially. He had to lean really far back just to reach it, and that makes it almost impossible to set himself up for the double touch. But Spacestation are still pressing forward now. We are getting towards that time in the game where I think they will just start to throw everybody forward and create as many chances as possible. KCP have dialed it back at just a touch. They're defending with quite a deep rotation as Memory runs all the way back to his half again. They don't want to get caught off in the counter-attack, caught off guard in the counter-attack, I should say, by this SSG lineup.
I can't say I disagree with the strategy right now, given how they've looked on their way back. Had the view of memory on at least my side, so awful lot of wall, but it was a well-saved shot. Typical again pops.
Oh,
He's
wow.
unchallenged. He might go for the demo, and he got it.
Oh.
But Rapid recovers just in time, sweeps up the mess, and it's still a 2-goal advantage. From Space Station Gaming keep play like this, that might not last too much longer. Beast mode for the hat trick. Couldn't find the double tap. And we'll go straight to a transition. It's an air dribble challenge between both of these teams. And you got to say, if it does turn into that, Space Station Gaming be wasting a lot of time on it as Rapid's going to take his turn and does get the furthest so far of any of the 4 players.
Yeah, Rapid really saving the team on that last defensive play from Space Station. It was a successful air dribble bump attempt by Typical, but Rapid's recovery was fast enough to get back and get the save on the goal line. Now, this is the last few chances, I think, that Space Station are going to get in this game. Let's see if they can make anything off it. Rettles misses his redirect attempt. Now it's Arsenal into the middle for Typical. He's got to fly very high up for this one. Oh, he was close, wasn't he, with a reset rebound? Very impressive stuff by Typical. That's such a difficult shot to pull off at that kind of speed. And he was oh so close.
Now 20 seconds on the clock. Just got to keep the ball away for a little bit longer. Typical now on. That's probably the last player they wanted to see. And you can tell it because Rapid was not wasting any time. Straight in, beast mode. Again for the hat trick. Couldn't go any further. And that is going to do it. KCP have got themselves a game. And now they can try and work on this one as they look to try and get back into this series.
That's more like it from KCP. Very impressive stuff. You know, they took their chances. I think Rapid had a great game. He's at the back there. He's at the bottom of the scoreboard. But really, he had a couple of really clutch plays, the passing, and also that goal line save to prevent Space Station from getting within 1 goal as we approach the final minute there. That was, for me, the key moment of the match. Typical was clean through. That recovery was saved. KCP's lead and kept it at a 2-goal cushion.
And we did see earlier on the beast mode shot after the pass straight down the middle. It's actually something that KCP went to 2 more times in that game. So I think that they've got something there that they want to make work, something that they can now use as a bread and butter as they look to try and get 2 more game wins that would put them up 2-0 in our Swiss bracket.
Yeah, they're going to be looking out for those open nets again, should there be any. Now, I don't think that there will be. It's a bit of a disappointing defensive performance for Space Station in Game 3. Just not really timing their rotations properly so that they can constantly have one player challenging every single ball. Let's see if they can stay in sync in the 4th game. Because overall, I would say this series has been a very hit or miss defensive performance from SSG. In offense, they look pretty scary as usual, but they need to try and solidify now. They need to try and get a good defensive foundation because they're going to need it later on. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue against KCP here. Let's find out. Game 5 is only 1 game away. If KCP can steal another one here, that would be interesting.
Certainly would do, and it bears reminding that a lot of the goals that we have seen KCP concede have been either directly or indirectly off their own whiffs. Last one from memory especially does spring to mind. So they'll also be looking at this right now and saying, well, as long as we can keep our own mistakes down, we might have a better shot at this one. Rettles blasts the challenge. In comes Arsenal, and a shot right down the middle. Definitely a shot that was more aimed at being on target than truly testing the keeper. Is this going to bounce out? In comes Rapid.
Wow.
Boom, a shot right into the left-hand side of the goal.
Showing Space Station how it's done. It was such a tame shot from Arsenal at the other side of the field. Rapid, not so much. He makes sure to air roll through the ball, get as much power as possible, and they've got another lead. Suddenly, we've got a series, and this is not at all the order of proceedings that I expected if we were going to be going to a Game 5. If I saw a Game 5 on the script for today, I would assume that KCP would have started off stronger and maybe Space Station would be the team coming back. But that's the opposite of what's happening right now.
There'll be 14% of our Twitch chat today that will be saying we told you so if they can come through and do this. I'll tell you what, bragging rights would be more than justified if Pioneers can actually make the reverse sweep happen, but maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Typical. I don't think he actually got the boost. That was hugely important by the Pioneers to keep that away from the Talisman.
as a proper bronze aerial moment at a Rapid where he's just flying. I don't even think he was off the ground. I'm pretty sure his boost was subterranean there. That's a good save by Beast Mode, keeping Rettles at bay. Let's see if KCP can dilute all this pressure that they're under. Space Station are going to keep on knocking at the door. Arsenal's making drive-by after drive-by to try and demo as many people as possible, but KCP are hanging on. And Memory's Dominus is looking for a second goal. He doesn't get it, but double commit from SSG. They had another opening in the defense, but this time KCP couldn't take it. Overall though, Shogun, Space Station's defense has had so many better days this season. It's not even remotely close to this point.
I think Space Station will be looking at this and being very thankful of the 3 stages that we expect to see them in, that this is objectively the easiest one. So Arsenal already up. And he's not going to get too much more for it. Beast Mode blasts it. And he didn't get it on target. Second shot, much better. And that is a let-off for Beast Mode. He needed to nail this one.
Yeah, just a wide open net miss, but Typical did not have enough boost after respawning to get to the ball before Beast Mode on the rebound. This is bizarre. Space Station have just given another open net shot to Kansas City Pioneers, and Kansas City Pioneers have scored without even taking it. They've actually got a 2-goal lead here with, I think, a lot of help from Space Station, which is something we really didn't anticipate. I was fully expecting if KCP go close to SSG today, that it would all be to do with them popping off. They would need to step up, but overall, Space Station just don't look that deadly anymore. That's off target. Rettles on the rebound, not able to hit the back of the net. Time once again is running out for Space Station.
Certainly is. 2 goals to the better, and they might have given away another one, as the Rapid was moving in to take the shot. It's very strange right now from Space Station Gaming. They just can't seem to figure out the order, and it's another one for KCP.
KCP are just straight up outplaying Space Station at this point. Where's the challenge? Nowhere to be seen. Where's the goalkeeper? Awkwardly positioned on the crossbar. Brilliant shooting on defended nets. I will not give KCP the overall compliment for their shooting in general, but when the nets are defended, they've done well. Their placement has been on point. That's got to be something Beast Mode's thinking about after the open net miss. Or is he? Maybe the fact that he got the rebound in himself will mean that he doesn't really have that plaguing in the back of his mind. I mean, given the fact that they're just 3 goals up on Space Station again, gotta feel pretty good, even if you did miss an open net this game.
Typical wants to keep this going. They're gonna have to score off this if they want to make anything of this game. I said earlier on, Johnny, that, you know, I wanted to see how the Pioneers could do when we get to the tiebreaker matches. I didn't think it was gonna be this series. It very much is gonna be this series hat trick for Rapids.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, that was a bit unfortunate for Space Station, to be fair. The challenge came in, just plastered into the sidewall and came into the middle for Rapid to score. But still, that is just a bouncing ball where either team can read that. Either team can be the first to it and make the next hit on it. Right now, KCP are reading the flow of the game a lot better. They're predicting where the ball is going to be going. Once again, Rapid just is an uncontested aerial. It's saved by Typical, but Space Station have to start intercepting these plays. What is going on in the Space Station defense? I'm pretty worried for them, Shogun, as we go into Game 5, because KCP can actually play better than this. They can step it up significantly. This is not even close to the best we've seen from them this year. Space Station have just completely capitulated in defense.
I don't think I've ever seen Space Station Gaming playing so reactive.
True.
They are not setting the ground rules for this. They usually get into a game and they just say to their opponents, all right, well, here's how we're playing this. You don't really get much of a say in the matter. By the way, here's Typical. This one, very much not the same way. We're going to Game 5, and for KC Pioneers, a chance for a monumental upset.
This is crazy. The way that this is going down is completely opposite to what you would expect. You know, going into this, we talked up KCP as a threatening team, a team that SSG needs to take seriously, but that's not Space Station's problem right now. Their main problem isn't how dangerous of an opponent they've got. Their main problem is what is going on in defense. Why do we have so many free shots from KCP? Why are Space Station like you said earlier, reacting to everything that's happening. We're so used to seeing them being the ones dictating the flow of the game and deciding how things are going to proceed. They're the hosts. The KCP have been invited over. You get told, okay, leave your shoes at the door, hang your jacket up there, sit at the table. Not tonight. KCP have just broken through the window, and Space Station Gaming have left off their house alarm. They're completely defenseless. Are they going to lose Game 5? And in a reverse sweep fashion, this is a huge opportunity for KCP.
Certainly will, and it's an opportunity that it looked like they weren't even going to get close to having the chance for. Rettles off the flip reset. Just try to get his team off and running in good fashion. They've been dropping that first goal quite a lot recently, Space Station. They want to set the pace early. I've done a good job of that so far, but Memory pinch shot. Shot was a little bit off target. Sipical moves in. Flip reset lets it drop, and it's not going to go anywhere further than a trickle towards Rapid.
Yeah, it was a cheeky shot, though. That's the big demo by Rettles now, but Arsenal's taking a sweet time to center the ball as Beast Mode collects it. Yeah, it's, a cute play out of Sipical there, but nowhere near powerful enough to be a threat against KCP. This is a chance for Rapid. He's got more space to work with at the edge of the box. It's defended this time by Space Station. But for once, they look uncomfortable. They do not look anywhere near their usual dominant selves as they swat away shots and passes like they're nobody's business. Right now, KCP have got them on the back foot, and it's a good challenge from SSG to break out of their half. Huge bump by Rettles as well. He's really upped the aggression in this Game 5 up until this point. But back and forth, end-to-end stuff. Neither team yet able to assert their authority in the ace match.
And you just got to take a look at how far up the KC Pioneers' third man has been whenever they've had the offense. Very happy to go for the half rotation. Memory, he waits, and it was the good decision, but doesn't have any boost, so instead he just pops it over for Rapid, who's going to try and follow. Beast Mode moving in. He's scored so many times lately. Not going to get another one, but he might get the dunk.
Oh!
And it has ricocheted away from the net, but a warning shot from the Pioneers.
That was the brutal position to have a dodge in your back pocket. Great reset from Beast Mode. And really, Space Station will be just glad to see it just rifling wide of the net for once. That's another good opportunity. Rapids unchallenged. That's in! 1-0 KCP in Game 5. They are on a roll.
There was nothing left in the boost tanks for Space Station Gaming. KCP consistently nabbing them away, and they get the reward for it. Step 1 done. Step 2 is on a time limit, and that time limit is 2 minutes and 40 seconds away.
This is absolute madness. KCP have taken their chances so well. They've been clinical. They've shot with accuracy, just getting the ball past Space Station goalkeepers with ease, spotting the holes in the defense that they can shoot through. But now it's up to Space Station to respond, because they've got a lot of questions that they need to start answering quickly. That was another chance that just went wide, or just bounced across the box, I guess. And these things are so unusual to see in Space Station games these days. Today we're seeing all kinds of opportunities. Big shot from Rettles. That is the kind of power that's been missing from Space Station's efforts as he arrows through the ball, leaving nothing to be questioned in that play. Rapid, not fast enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Memory. We could put 5 of you in that goal. None of them are making it to that shot. That was a phenomenal hit from Rettles. And they are back into it. And you did point out earlier on, Johnny, that it was Rettles that was aiming for more demos as well. Seems like he is now the pacemaker, but that pace has not been quick enough. They're back on defense.
Oh!
Back down.
KCP are popping off. They've stepped it up, Shogun. I told you, this team weren't even playing at their best. In those 2 previous games where they beat Space Station, games 3, 4, they got the wins. They did not have to pop off to do it. They just picked up the wins off the ground. But now, we're seeing some extremely on-point Predator gameplay. This is just perfect timing for the finishing touches to come in. Space Station do not have a response to that. Once again, are they going to have one from Rettles? Oh, it's off the post. It was so close, but Space Station's accuracy letting them down.
Oh, there's another one off the crossbar. In comes Rapid. You say
Beast mode!
They can't do it. Brace for beast mode.
Spacestation are in shambles. Arsenal and Rettles both committing for that. That leaves nobody in net for beast mode's follow-up shot. And KCP, what a time to play the best game of the series. I think Spacestation overall haven't looked as weak in this last game. It doesn't matter though when you're defending shots at this caliber. What a clear bat is by Rapid. My goodness, that went far. And Beast Mode scored it. What? This is outrageous.
A star-making performance for Beast Mode. And that is the greatest goal of his career in what is going to be the biggest win of his career outside of a monumental collapse. KCP are going to make 14% of our Twitch chat, Johnny. Very, very smart people.
I cannot believe it. I mean, this is what we're talking about with KCP. They are a very dangerous team. They're very mechanical. They're very fast. They're not consistent, however. But what does consistency matter when you're winning 4-1 in a Game 5 against Spacestation Gaming? All you got to do is hit the ball for the rest of the game. You're probably fine. Spacestation with, I think, overall this series, one of their worst performances we've seen all year. But Game 5, they played pretty well. They just got slaughtered by players who were better in the clutch. They got to the balls that are bouncing out into the middle faster than SSG did, and they absolutely leathered them on target. That could have easily been 5.
It has to be said that there was only really 2 clean-cut opportunities for Spacestation Gaming this game. One of them they scored. The other one is going to get kept out by Beast Mode. That is a confident young man right there. 10 seconds away. Spacestation Gaming came into this with a 9-0 perfect regional record.
Wow.
Double digits will elude this time around as the winners and moving to 2-0, Kansas City Pioneers.
This just doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make sense. That's a reverse sweep where Spacestation Gaming were so quiet in games 3 and 4. KCP didn't really, I don't think I'd play anywhere near their best in games 1 through 4 of this series, but neither did SSG. It was just a very sloppy series from both teams where, occasionally we'd see a good shot hits on target and think, okay, yeah, that's something at least to write home about. And then out of nowhere, KCP bring their best for the last game in the series. That's the KCP that have got, analysts like Turtle excited. And that's the KCP that have got the whole North American scene worried to play against them. If they can pop off like this, my word, what a game for Beast Mode with one of the best reads we've seen all year. But honestly, we're talking about how one of the goals earlier on in the game, in the series, it didn't happen, could have been one of the goals of the season. That one, I think, might be top of the list at the end of the day.
Well, for those of you out there that have tuned in for this very start, congratulations to you, because I know some people have been saying, oh, well, why should I tune in early? It's always the stomps. Definitely not the case this time around. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, it's G2 Esports against version 1.